Hi guys, I am here today to talk to you about my breastfeeding situation and how things have been going for me so far. Gracie will be 20 weeks old next Wednesday, which is just crazy. I can't believe she's already going to be 20 weeks old. And I can't believe that we are still breastfeeding. I am so happy and just really amazed that we've made it so far, and through all of our struggles, we are still going strong. So she will be 20 weeks old next week. I returned to work when she was 11 weeks old. So I've been back to work for about 9 weeks, around 2 months. And things have been up and down. When I returned to work, I was really worried about my supply going down, because my goal for breastfeeding is to go until she self-weans. I don't want to have to make that decision for her. It's the best thing for her health and her body. Yeah. And I want to be able to provide that nourishment for her as long as she needs it or wants it. And so I was really worried that my supply was going to drop when I returned to work. I didn't know how the pumping situation was going to go, since we don't really have a room that I can go in to pump, and breaks are kind of hard to get when you only work 6 to 8 hours. So when I did return to work, I tried to sneak out for a break. Well, not sneak out, but I tried to make a break for myself to go pump in my car. That was really not fun. Even when I would be able to get a break, it wasn't long enough really to pump as much as I needed to, and it was just really uncomfortable in my truck, and it wasn't really working out. And then also I was missing out on that money while I was on a break, and I wasn't really making as much money as I would have liked throughout the day to make it worth leaving my baby with somebody else during the day. I would have rather just stayed home and been with her. Well, I guess that's always the case, but you know what I mean. So that wasn't really working out, and I had to come up with a plan to keep my breast milk supply up, but still be able to work the way that was most ideal. So this is what routine I have fallen into, and it has worked wonderfully for me. This doesn't mean that it's going to work for everybody. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's breastfeeding experience is different, and you just really never know. So what I do that works for me is I wake up at 4:30 in the morning on days that I work, and I go and I pump. And I pump and I pump and I pump until I literally cannot pump anymore, until I just can't get anything else out. So that takes about 45 minutes for me to finish, and I will have anywhere, it's different all the time, I will have anywhere from 7 ounces to 12 ounces depending. And I try to drink a ton of water while I am pumping, and then I try and drink I keep water next to our bed so that I can drink when I wake up in the middle of the night, and I drink lots and lots of water. I go through so much water, and I'm always going to the bathroom because I'm drinking so much water. But it's good for you. It's wonderful when you're breastfeeding to stay hydrated, because if you're not hydrated, your body's going to slow down on the producing of milk. So I pump and I pump and I pump, and then that milk I keep in a glass bottle, and I put it in the refrigerator, and that is what Gracie will have while I am at work. Then when I'm done pumping, I go upstairs, I take my shower, I get ready for work. Gracie's usually still asleep at this time, and so I can get everything done while she's asleep. When she wakes up, I nurse her, because by then, I don't know, it's something about a baby nursing. They can always get more milk out than your pump will ever be able to. So she will nurse, and she'll get a meal out, which I think is awesome, within that 45 minutes that it was between pumping and nursing her. I had enough for her to drink for an entire meal. So I'll nurse her, then she will play, will come downstairs and play a little bit until I have to leave for work. Before I leave for work, I reserve 10 to 15 minutes to try and pump a little more, just to see if I can get anything else out to add to the milk in the refrigerator. So while I am at work, if Gracie drinks everything that was in the refrigerator, then my mom will take some milk out of the freezer and thaw that out and give that to her. Now, the way that I figure how much I need to pump when I get home is by how much my mother gives her from the freezer. So let's say she drank everything that was in the glass bottle that I pumped in the morning and was still hungry. So my mom brings out a bag from the freezer that's about 3 ounces. Let's say that she drinks all of that. When I get home, I have to, at the minimal, pump 3 more ounces so that everything that she's eating in a day is what my body is producing or expressing. Then I like to try, it doesn't have to be right away, it can be later on in the day. I try to pump 5 extra ounces. And I try to get at least that 5 ounces so that if my milk supply takes a dip, it doesn't affect how much she needs in a day to drink. I take that 5 ounces and I put it in a Lansino freezer bag and I put it in my freezer stash for another day. So that is what has really worked for me. And I'm just really proud of us to have made it this far. The pumping is definitely not fun. You can't get lazy with it as easy as it is to do. You just can't, because your supply will take a dip, or at least it does for me, and I just can't risk it because I really want to continue breastfeeding. So that's what I do on the days that I do work. On the days that I don't work, I try to pump that 5 ounces at least, just so that my supply stays 5 ounces ahead in case something happens and it takes a dip, or in case I am unable to pump for any reason, stuff comes up, you know. So I try and stay 5 ounces ahead of what she needs in a day to consume. I hope this has helped some of you mamas that are in the same predicament as me, or if you're worried about going back to work and you're unable to pump, or you're just wondering how to keep your supply going. Of course, this will not work for everybody. If you are already having a problem with your supply, I wouldn't recommend going so long without pumping. My work days are 6 to 8 hours. And that is a pretty long time to go without nursing or pumping. But I've figured out a science to keep everything going. I hope that all of you are having a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you next time. Any questions or comments, leave them below. Bye.